you ever wondered why native English speakers sound so lively and expressive? The secret often lies in their use of idioms and phrasal verbs. These language tools transform ordinary speech into something vivid and memorable. In this video, we'll explore how idioms and phrasal verbs can elevate your English, making it sound more natural, authentic, and engaging. Whether you're aiming for fluency or just want to impress in conversations, understanding these expressions is essential. Let's start by looking at what makes idioms so powerful in everyday communication. Idiom is a fixed phrase whose meaning isn't obvious from the individual words. For example, if someone says, "It's raining cats and dogs," they don't mean animals are falling from the sky. Instead, it means it's raining heavily. Idioms condense complex ideas or emotions into just a few words, making your speech more efficient and colorful. They're a key part of sounding like a native speaker, and they often reflect the culture and humor of the language. One of the main functions of idioms is to summarize large emotional or situational contexts in just a few words. Imagine you're in a meeting and someone says, "Let's cut to the chase." Instantly, everyone understands it's time to get to the main point without wasting time. This ability to condense meaning is what makes idioms so useful in both casual and professional settings. They help you communicate efficiently and with impact. Let's look at the idiom "cut to the chase." Instead of saying, "Let's stop talking about unnecessary details and get to the main point," you simply say, "Let's cut to the chase." This phrase is direct, clear, and instantly understood by native speakers. Using idioms like this not only saves time but also makes your speech sound more fluent and confident. Idioms are also great for delivering difficult or stressful news in a softer, more polite way. For example, instead of bluntly saying, "We're stopping the project," you might say, "Management decided to call it a day on that project." This idiom gently communicates the end of something, making the message easier to accept. Such phrases are especially useful in professional environments where diplomacy matters. Phrase "call it a day" is a classic idiom used to signal that it's time to stop working on something. Instead of saying, "We're finished for now," you can say, "Let's call it a day." This makes your language sound more relaxed and friendly, which is especially helpful in group settings or when you want to maintain a positive atmosphere. Idioms often paint a mental picture for your listener, making your stories and explanations more memorable. For instance, saying, "The news came out of the blue," creates a vivid image of something unexpected happening. This visual quality helps your audience remember what you say and keeps them engaged in the conversation. When you say something happened out of the blue, you're describing an event that was totally unexpected. Instead of explaining at length that you were surprised, this idiom instantly conveys the feeling. It's a favorite among native speakers for its simplicity and impact, and it's a great way to add color to your conversations. Phrasal verb is a combination of a verb and one or more particles like look into or turn around. These expressions often have meanings that are different from the individual words. Phrasal verbs are essential for sounding natural in English, especially in everyday and workplace conversations. They help you express actions, changes, and directions with precision and ease. Phrasal verbs dominate workplace language. Instead of using formal verbs, professionals often use phrasal verbs to describe tasks and processes. For example, "Let's circle back to the financial data tomorrow" means to return to a previous topic. This kind of language is standard in meetings, emails, and reports, making your communication sound up-to-date and professional. The phrase "circle back" is commonly used in offices to mean revisiting a topic later. Instead of saying, "We will discuss this again," you can say, "Let's circle back to this." It's concise, friendly, and widely understood in business settings. Mastering such phrases will help you fit in and communicate smoothly at work. Phrasal verbs can replace stiff, formal verbs, making your speech sound more natural. For example, instead of saying, "They will investigate the matter," you can say, "They will look into the matter." This shift from academic to conversational language is key for fluent, everyday English. When you say "look into," you're using a phrasal verb that means investigate. For example, "They will look into the matter" is much more conversational than "they will investigate the matter." This kind of language is what you'll hear in everyday English, making you sound more like a native speaker. Phrasal verbs are also used to indicate precise changes in direction, state, or quantity. For example, "The retail stock prices began to turn around after the EGM" means the prices started to improve or reverse direction. This kind of expression is common in business, news, and daily conversations. The phrasal verb "turn around" means to improve or reverse direction. For instance, "The company's fortunes turned around" suggests things got better. This phrase is useful for talking about progress, recovery, or positive changes, especially in professional or financial contexts. Now that you know the functions of idioms and phrasal verbs, let's talk about how to use them correctly. Placement rules are important, especially for phrasal verbs. There are two main types, separable and inseparable. Knowing where to put the object in a sentence will help you avoid common mistakes and sound more natural. Separable phrasal verbs allow you to place the object either between the verb and the particle or at the end of the phrase. For example, you can say, "set up the meeting" or "set the meeting up." Both are correct. This flexibility makes your speech more dynamic and helps you adapt to different sentence structures. Take the phrasal verb "set up." You can say, "set up the meeting" or "set the meeting up." Both forms are used in English, and choosing one over the other often depends on emphasis or style. Mastering this rule will help you sound more fluent and avoid awkward sentences. Inseparable phrasal verbs keep the verb and particle together and the object must always come after the phrase. For example, she ran into an old colleague at the conference. You can't say, she ran an old colleague into. Following this rule is crucial for clear and correct communication. With the phrasal verb ran into, you must keep the verb and particle together. For example, she ran into an old colleague. This structure is fixed and changing it would make the sentence incorrect. Paying attention to these details will help you avoid common mistakes in English. Idioms are everywhere in daily conversations, from chatting with friends to watching TV shows. They add humor, express emotions, and make your language more relatable. Learning common idioms helps you understand native speakers and join in on jokes or stories. When telling stories, idioms can make your narrative more engaging. For example, saying, he spilled the beans instead of he revealed the secret makes your story more colorful and interesting. Listeners are more likely to remember your words when you use vivid expressions. Idioms are often used to express emotions in a way that's both creative and precise. For example, feeling under the weather means you're not feeling well. These phrases help you communicate feelings without long explanations, making your speech more efficient. You'll hear idioms in movies, TV shows, and songs. They're a big part of pop culture and help you connect with native speakers. Understanding idioms in media makes it easier to enjoy entertainment and follow conversations. Phrasal verbs are used constantly in spoken and written English. They describe actions, changes, and even feelings. For example, give up means to stop trying and bring up means to mention a topic. Learning these verbs will help you understand and participate in conversations more easily. Some phrasal verbs are used so often that you'll hear them every day. Examples include find out, pick up, and put off. Mastering these will make your English sound more natural and help you keep up with fast-paced conversations. Idioms are often used to talk about success and achievement. For example, hit the ground running means to start something energetically and effectively. Using such expressions shows confidence and a good command of English. When facing difficulties, idioms can help you describe the situation. For example, up against the wall means you're in a tough spot. These phrases make your speech more expressive and relatable, especially when sharing experiences. Idioms are also used to talk about relationships. For example, get along with means to have a good relationship with someone. These expressions are common in both personal and professional contexts, helping you connect with others. Talking about time, idioms like in the nick of time mean just before it's too late. These phrases make your speech more dynamic and help you express urgency or timing in a creative way. When making decisions, idioms can clarify your meaning. For example, on the fence means you haven't decided yet. Using these expressions helps others understand your thought process quickly. Change is a common topic in conversation, and idioms like turn over a new leaf mean to start fresh. These phrases make your language more interesting and help you talk about transitions in life. Idioms are often used to talk about luck. For example, down on your luck means you're experiencing a difficult time. These phrases add depth to your stories and help you express sympathy or encouragement. When you agree with someone, idioms like see eye to eye are often used. These phrases make your agreement sound more natural and friendly, helping to build rapport in conversations. Disagreements are part of life and idioms can help you express them politely. For example, agree to disagree means you accept different opinions without conflict. This keeps conversations respectful and positive. Learning itself is full of idioms. For example, learn the ropes means to understand the basics of something. Using these phrases shows you're comfortable with English and helps you fit in with native speakers. Travel is another area rich with idioms. For example, hit the road means to start a journey. These expressions make your travel stories more exciting and help you connect with fellow travelers. Food idioms are common in English. For example, piece of cake means something is very easy. These phrases add flavor to your conversations and make your language more playful. Talking about the weather, idioms like under the weather mean you're not feeling well. These phrases are common in small talk and help you sound more natural in everyday conversations. Money is a popular topic for idioms. For example, costs an arm and a leg means something is very expensive. These expressions make your financial conversations more interesting and relatable. Health idioms are used to talk about feeling good or bad. For example, back on your feet means you've recovered from illness. These phrases are encouraging and often used to show support. Technology has its own set of idioms. For example, pull the plug means to stop something, especially a project or activity. Using these phrases helps you keep up with modern conversations in tech and business. Stressful situations often call for idioms. For example, at the end of your rope means you're out of patience or options. These phrases help you express frustration or exhaustion in a relatable way. Growth and improvement are often described with idioms. For example, break new ground means to do something innovative. These expressions show progress and a forward-thinking attitude. We've covered the main functions and rules of idioms and phrasal verbs, from making your speech more vivid to mastering placement rules. Remember, using these expressions will help you sound more natural and confident in English. Try practicing a few idioms and phrasal verbs each day, and soon you'll notice your language skills improving. Thanks for watching, and keep exploring the colorful world of English.